CIDCO will soon supply water using tankers to buildings in Navi Mumbai's Karanje node. This comes after Navi Mumbai builders took a protest morcha to the CIDCO office. The reason CIDCO has been issuing occupation certificates to buildings where they do not supply water. And the civic body was not even aware of it. Ruchi Deshpande gets us the details of this surprising state of affairs. Ruchi, thank you so much for being with us here on the news. Builders protesting for water, civic body supplying water through tankers. What exactly is happening in Navi Mumbai?
Well, we've got the holder of the document that was sent by the Karanje Builders Association of Navi Mumbai as well as Raigad Builders Association to CIDCO, where both these bodies are alleging that CIDCO has gone ahead and provided occupancy certificates to the buildings. But the problem is that there is no basic water connection in these buildings, which are already ready to be occupied by the tenants. And this is what has been stated in this document. We also learn that as a damage control measure, it's stated in the document that CIDCO has gone ahead and as a stopgap arrangement promised water from tankers to be provided to these buildings, for which the OC has already been issued. And as further damage control, they've also invited tenders for more water tankers to supply water to these buildings. But here comes the interesting part. Now, CIDCO has also gone ahead and said that they will stop issuing more OCs, that is occupancy certificates, to any more buildings that will come up in the Karanje node. Now, when we spoke to builders about this, they said that this is a huge issue on their part because the occupants that are ready to move inside these buildings will pull up the developers and not CIDCO for not having the water supply in these areas. But when we spoke to CIDCO, they said that they wouldn't have gone ahead and issued an occupancy certificate had they known that there was an issue of water supply in this area.
Thanks, Ruchi, for putting that chaos in as simple terms as possible to us. Now, we do have a developer from Navi Mumbai joining us, Mr. Devang Trivedi, President of Karanje Navi Mumbai. Thank you so much for being with us, Devang. My first question to you is, how many builders have their projects that don't have water supply at the moment?
More than 100. And what has happened is most of the buildings are ready and people have started moving in, and there is no water connection by CIDCO, because this is a primary liability which has to be ensured by the CIDCO as an agency, government agency. Now, we had a morcha when we had protest from the residents as well as the developers, which we addressed to CIDCO, and CIDCO made note of this, and they have ensured that water tanker will be provided until the time the permanent water connection doesn't come up. But our issue is one, that why does it take such a long time for any node to have basic infrastructural needs like water, drainage, water connection and electricity?
All right, Devang, we also have CIDCO's Chief Engineer Sanjay Chaudhary joining us on the phone line. Mr. Chaudhary, thank you so much for being with us here on the news on Magic Bricks Now. My first question is, instead of supplying water, why would you resort to putting OCs on hold?
Hello.
Mr. Chaudhary, if you can hear me, my first question to you is, instead of supplying water, why would you resort to putting OCs on hold?
No, the question is that the CIDCO for the Navi Mumbai, Panvel and Karanje area is depending upon the supply from the MJP. MJP unfortunately have the water supply systems in place which is 30 to 40 years, and it is quite in a dilapidated condition. CIDCO, they have been promised CIDCO to supply water to give the connection for Karanje node for last about 1.5 years, and we have been in dialogues with them. CIDCO, in fact, went a step ahead and sanctioned 138 crore rupees for augmentation of their scheme. But still that 1.5 year NJP could not do much, and probably I think they have got their approvals now in place. And in a short-term measure, they have promised us that by December they are installing some pumps which will be having a lower capacity of pumping to ensure that the pressure generated by the pumps does not actually damage the pipelines which are already in a very bad condition. So we are very, very hopeful that by December end we should be able to give connection to Karanje node through the MJP supply, which will be around 2 to 3 MLD. And this is what is the present situation. In the meantime, when the builder associations has approached CIDCO, we have taken a very positive view. Whoever are staying in the societies, which are around 37 probably societies residing in the, which is having occupancy and people are residing into that. So we have made a temporary arrangement of supplying water through the tankers.
All right, Mr. Chaudhary, just hold on to the thought for a bit. Let me just get back to Devang. Now, Devang, CIDCO has stopped issuing occupancy certificates. Now, how many projects exactly are stuck because of that?
Roughly 30 projects, 30. And another 30 to 40 projects will come up for occupancy certificate in say 2 to 3 months time. So roughly 80 to 90 projects.
Mr. Chaudhary, we just heard Devang talk about how 30 to 40 projects are coming up for OC. What are the plans as far as the projects that are stuck are concerned?
No, we have already got sanctioned additional 50 MLD from Hetone Dam from the government, which is already placed. CIDCO paid 78 crore rupees for that. The only replacement of line, which is augmentation of line to carry the water, is in process, which probably we are trying to complete by next June. In the meantime, we are trying hard with MJP to ensure that we get water from them from December, so that whatever the projects which are stuck also will be supplied water to the MJP.
All right, Mr. Chaudhary, I have to ask you this. What is your response to buyers who are waiting for possession in this situation?
I think they will, if the December positively works out everything with the MJP, their pumps gets in place, and I don't think so there should be any problem for the buyers in waiting to take the possession. If it's something in case of, because there has been a shortfall of rain this year also, already 20-25 cuts have been declared by many of the local bodies, so there is a shortage of water. In that case, I think they will have to wait till next June.
All right, Mr. Sanjay Chaudhary, Chief Engineer at CIDCO, and Mr. Devang Trivedi, President of CREDAI at Navi Mumbai. Both of you, thank you so much for joining us here with your perspectives on the news.